Okay, and here we are, copy the link. Hello, hello. Inviting. Hey.
What's good?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. Wait, I'm turning on my camera.
Yo.
You have cut the hair.
Are you growing it out or you gonna dye it again?
No.
No.
No more. No more. No more. The blonde streak is over.
I mean, it looks good, but I can see your natural color also. We can be the brunette ladies here.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, the Bitcoin brunettes.
Bacon brunettes.
I love that. I love that so
Are you
much.
not gonna bleach it anymore?
Bro, I can't. It literally,
Yeah.
like, I just had to chop it because of the chemical cut that I had. Like, it was just, oh my God, today was traumatic. Like,
Oh no.
can't even talk about
Like,
it.
how did your hair get so like thin? Why did you do that? How did you let yourself?
The bleach. It was the bleach. I went crazy with the bleach. This happens to everybody, and I thought it's not gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be super
Yeah.
careful. I was OCD about taking care of this hair, and it just one day I was like, let's push it, and it
Uh-oh.
started falling off.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I feel like every woman has their crazy hair story.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why I also went back to my natural hair color. They
Yeah.
bleached my whole head and they ruined my natural hair. It was
Yeah.
disgusting. I still remember this lady to this day. If I ever see her walking down the street, I will literally push her. I will push her. I
My God.
hate her. I know hate is such a strong word, but how can you damage someone's hair?
Yeah.
Knowing
Yeah.
they know
It
what they're
happens.
doing to the
It
hair.
happens. No, I know, but like sometimes you get crazy clients like me who are like, do it. And
They should have you
it's
like
my own
sign
fault. It's
something.
my own fault. Like, no, I definitely know it's my, they do make you sign stuff now because
Oh, they
apparently,
do?
like, yeah, because like if you're a model or if you make money like off of your image and likeness and they fuck up your hair, like, you could sue.
That is
So,
right. Yeah, people do
That
like insure
I
weird
saw a
things too
girl
like
that did
that.
that though, but they did ruin her hair. Like they left the bleach on and the bleach took off all her hair. It was
oh,
huge on TikTok.
No. I've
wow.
actually
Oh
Yeah,
never
no.
my
dyed my hair,
God.
I will
I
Don't
say.
do
know
it.
who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're
You
talking
know the
about.
girl, the model, it was a huge story that blew up. And Andrea,
Poor
stay
thing.
a hair.
Yes, this
I
is my
know.
virgin hair.
Yeah.
I was getting that TikTok like as it was happening to me, and I was just like, at least it's not that bad because that hers was
Hers was bad. I even cried
intense.
for her. She had so for you guys, those that don't know, she had normal hair, long, whatever. She went to get her normal highlights, and the girl left it on for too long. And then she started smelling the chemicals, and she was like, "Hey, this is a little on too long." She's like, "No, no, no, you're fine." When she goes to take it off, half of her hair is in one part of the aluminum, and then the other half is just too. She had to chop it all off.
Oof.
I,
No.
no, it was.
You live
I
and you
feel
learn.
so
That's
bad.
all I can
Yeah.
say. I feel British. Like I feel like this vibe is giving
Ooh,
I mean,
but
it's
I
still
love
like a
it
cool
because it
vibe
fits
though.
the
Like it's
whole.
still like, so there's something
It's
cool
the
about it.
vibe.
Fine.
It's the
Yeah, it's
vibe.
definitely a vibe.
I.
Anyway, we're
It,
here to talk about
Yes.
yes.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. Let's. I just want to say it's a Y2K vibe, so you're good, girl.
Yeah.
Good thing
Yeah,
it happened in this era.
I
Imagine
know.
if it
The
happened when we were like trying to all be like Kim K back in the day.
if it would have happened to me in like between 2012 and 2017, I would have been fucked. Like
Yeah, no, I think thank God if it were to happen, it happened at the right time.
a
You look
hundred percent,
thriving,
a
so
hundred
we're good.
percent. So Tell us what's going on.
Bitcoin,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Freaking
So many
Gary.
things
Well,
are
it's
going
funny.
on, actually.
I don't know if you guys a book that's popular, like a fiction book that's popular with Bitcoiners, The Mandibles. Have you guys heard of this or read it? I was getting like I when I saw that the a headline today that Janet Yellen was saying that she thinks the dollar as the reserve currency is in a decline, like a slow decline, according to her. But like I'm just reading this book right now, so it's just like I'm just thinking about it because it's like in this book the dollar like overnight basically loses its reserve status, and it's just like it's like an economic doom apocalyptic fiction about this family that was like really wealthy and like how they're all dealing with it basically and like the fallout from it. Highly recommend. But that's like now I've like
I like
I was having
that.
nightmares about it last night because I was listening to it going to bed. So that's like top of mind for me right now.
Well, that's crazy
Oh,
that you
wow.
say that because that is super true. As you're reading that one, I'm reading the Bitcoin Standard by Saifuddin. And something, I'm in the chapters where he talks about the fall of all these different currencies. And that's
Right.
one thing that people are forgetting about, that we used to have all these other currencies and they fall at the end of an empire or at the end of an era, and we've changed, we've evolved. So these people that are stuck with the US dollar and think that we're going to use the US dollar until we die, they're so wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be around,
They're so
but it is
wrong.
like it's definitely in a decline.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you
I
know,
think it'll be around. They're so
it is
wrong.
like it's definitely in a decline.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you
I
know,
think it'll be around. They're so
it is
wrong.
like it's definitely in a decline. And
It'll be around. They're so
ah, no. Okay, she'll be back. Let's see.
all right, we're good.
How did that happen?
Some technical difficulties.
Yes. Okay, I'm inviting back on. Cool. Okay,
Sorry,
we're back.
guys. I got a call.
Sophie, are you going
Oh,
to
no worries.
behave? Are
I
you
was
going to
like, the
behave?
Matrix is happening.
No, literally, I was like, what's going on? I got a call.
Damn. That's annoying.
Sorry.
But yeah, I guess otherwise, Bitcoin world, we're seeing like all of these suits with the big exchanges is all kind of coming down. And I think like Bitcoin is kind of coming out on top on this because it's just like, it's pretty cool. It's like we don't have, there's no like way you can call this a security. It kind of, it's showing people what it is. People didn't maybe understand the difference before. And now I feel like it's like, hopefully people are starting to understand that difference now. I don't know. What do you guys
What
think about?
What
hard
did they
money always
tell
comes out on top.
people? What did they tell people back in like the 1930s when they started taking their gold? When they started making gold illegal, what did they tell people to convince them? Because the
Well, they
likelihood of them using something like that for us to for them to dissuade us from using Bitcoin is probably going to be it, you know? You
well, if I'm
need
not
like
mistaken, in it was like 1914 because of the World War that the president of the United States he decided to block the gold standard because
yes, it was
England
1915, right?
England had way more gold than anybody, and I think it was the pound was way stronger than the U.S. dollar because of the amount of gold, and he literally just banned it, and he would put people to jail if they were still on the gold standard. And actually, it was Sweden, if I'm not, or Switzerland, one of the last countries to get off the gold standard.
Yeah.
So do you
Like it was just
think
for
that
selfish reasons.
do you think that the US would have like that type of nationalism to be like, oh, China is mining all of this Bitcoin through Hong Kong. They have huge reserves of Bitcoin. We're gonna have to take your Bitcoin now so that we
They
can
can
have
try.
freedom. I mean,
I
they
mean,
can
honestly,
try, but
they
for
could
people
because they
who
did do that with gold. And it's funny because this is also a plot line in the book I'm reading is they reenact that law and they take everybody's gold down to their freaking wedding rings. Like it's crazy. And they use like, oh, like patriotism to be like, you know, you need to be patriotic and give your gold to us so we can basically pay down our Chinese debt was the plot line. This was very interesting. But they could use that same law to, I think, probably do any commodity, and Bitcoin being one of them. So if Bitcoin does end up being important, that's why it's so important to have your self custody fucking on lockdown. Because, like, if that were to happen, if like if say, I mean, I don't know how likely the scenario is, but say that scenario happens where it's like dollars in decline suddenly and they need Bitcoin now because Bitcoin has become this dominant force. Uh, yeah, like you would need to basically, they could come be searching for your hardware wallets, but if you have a cold card, you can give them that like fake, code, but like, you can start thinking about like memorizing, maybe you and your partner memorize your seed trace together and make it easier. Like there's a lot of options with Bitcoin, and that's what's so cool about it, is that like they can come and try to seize it, and if it's on an exchange, they'll be successful. And if you have your seed phrase just like lying around and they come search your place, they'll be successful. But there are options. It's like it's not unseizable, but it's very resistant to being
My
seized.
concern would be that they start offering perks that aren't in dollars. They say, because now with the banks, we have this like, ooh, we lost her.
Oh no. We'll get her back in a sec, I'm sure.
Now with the banks, you have this social credit score, right? This ESG metric that people are using to get loans from the banks, whatever. What happens if in the United States you have to pay Bitcoin to the government to get your basic rights, to be able to fill up your gas tank, to be able to buy meat, to be able to do things that, fit don't fit the current agenda of what like everyone who isn't paying in Bitcoin has to do. There are there's Javier in the chat is saying if they shut the world down in 2020, they can do anything. And it's,
That's
not
so
to be
true.
black-pilled or anything, but I kind of see that. Like I can see how they will manipulate the public by using the media to get you to give up your Bitcoin. And that's going to be the next frontier. It's one thing to adopt your Bitcoin and for hyper Bitcoinization to happen. It's a whole other thing for you to keep it and save it and store it in self-custody so that these entities don't take it away from you.
Right.
Well, that's what's happening. We're being micromanaged in every little aspects of our life, right down to when we're trying to take the money out of the bank. Every little aspect that of our lives is being tracked down and monitored. We have all the records. Even the IRS knows when you're not paying your taxes or you're trying to I'm not saying like traffic money, but when you're not paying your taxes, everything, they put like a little red flag on you. You can't get away with anything because everything is being monitored. Every
Right.
like the WikiLeaks said, there's like tons of information noticing how the United States, if they want to hack into your phones, even your smart
Not
TV.
even just WikiLeaks, Edward Snowden showed us that. Like that was the big, we don't even talk about that anymore, but like that's like still happening probably.
But nobody realizes. I don't understand. So many, I feel like it's this conversation that everybody knows we're being watched, but nobody's talking about it, or nobody's scared enough. They're afraid to fight the system or afraid to talk about it because they're so used to living their ways that they don't want to die, because that's pretty much what the government can do. They can kill people that just speak out.
It's difficult to confront difficult things, difficult truths, especially about something that people care about so much, like money. I could compare it to somebody who drinks a lot of alcohol and like every once in a while they get buzzed inside of their car and they start driving. They might get away with it for 30 years. And then there's that one night where they're out, whatever, and something catastrophic happens that makes them change their entire life. I was talking about that with Alex from Swan. I was telling him I think it's going to take something catastrophic because I don't see people willingly waking up to this very difficult truth. So
That's so true, because being comfortable is everybody's worst enemy. So if you're comfortable with what you're doing, you're comfortable with what you've been taught, you're never going to evolve or adopt. And speaking about the government owning Bitcoin, did you guys know they sold most of the Bitcoin that they seized because
Yeah,
of
they've been
Silk
selling
Road?
it in like
Yeah, in
shops or whatever.
parts.
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
someone left a comment on one of my TikToks saying, you don't understand, the US already has the biggest reserve of Bitcoin and they're going to like control the price and buy it all and it's just going to be the same exact thing. And I'm just like, what? Like, how is that
I
even
mean, publicly,
possible?
we have a good amount seized from like Silk Road and stuff, but like, they're already talking about selling it off, but like
They've
doing it
sold a
in
good
small chunks.
portion.
But who knows? Like,
Yeah.
people think that maybe Satoshi was CIA and we might have a way bigger reserve than we might even know.
What's up with that theory? Like, why do
Yeah.
they think it's CIA? I just
I
want to
mean,
know.
it's an interesting theory. I don't know if I buy it, but there is like when I was looking into it, and I was talking to Mark Goodwin, actually, one of the writers at our magazine, and he seemed like it seemed like it had some merit, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, everyone's a spook, I feel like, in his eyes.
Okay,
So
wait, does
I
that make
saw the.
you more bullish or less bullish?
Wait, doesn't his name mean Central Intelligence in Japanese? I don't
I
think
don't know. Let me Google that.
I'd have to look that one up.
I'm looking
Right,
that up right now.
Sophie at the computer
Google
is gonna look this
Translate.
up.
It's in Japanese. No, it means chuo chino. Let's play it on. I probably
I
butchered
haven't.
it.
No, that's so fake. Homunculus.
That's how it's
Homunculus.
pronounced. Central Intelligence is pronounced like this.
中央知能
Yeah, absolutely not.
Wait,
Debunked.
Debunked. Theory debunked here
Yes.
live. But what I saw in one of the comments in one of the YouTube videos that it could be Nick Szabo because of the initials, and then I was like, that's smart. I never thought of it like
Nah.
that. But
No,
then-
if that were the case, Nico and Sophie could be Satoshi Nakamoto. Like, let's
Oh
be
my
real.
God,
Let's
stop.
be real right now.
Oh my God! We got Satoshi on the chat with us.
I
Oh
saw
my
this
God.
really interesting thread actually about who Satoshi Nakamoto actually is, and they started talking about Hal Finney and the other guy from Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names. And you know, they actually broke it down like in a very legitimate way, but all these roads kind of lead to nothing. I feel like whoever the devs were, they really like did a good job at hiding their path because they knew that if people started
This was the
obsessing
plan.
over this identity and they actually found out who it was, that power would corrupt whoever was given it.
Yeah.
not
So-
even just corrupt. We talked to who was
Adam Back.
Adam Back. And Adam was saying if Satoshi revealed his identity, he would fear for his life because
100%.
it's so true. Not just about
Adam.
it,
Like, he's one of the
polluting
people
his
who was
head.
actually suspected of being Satoshi.
Yeah. But the thing is, I was watching the Rise and Rise of Bitcoin, and I think Andrew Gavin, he was asked by this. He was one of the last people to talk to Satoshi, and he mentioned that the last time he spoke to Satoshi was because the CIA asked him to meet and talk about Bitcoin and what was Bitcoin. And after that, Satoshi completely disappeared. And he said that he never revealed nothing that would link his personality because he was that disconnected.
Wow. Well, here's the thing, like Bitcoin itself, aspects of Satoshi are decentralized because there are a bunch of things that were mentioned. I gotta find this thread now because it was very,
People
very...
do say that
No.
like Satoshi could be a group of people. Like Satoshi
Yeah, that
has
is
to be
true.
just one person.
I totally believe that. I think it's a group.
There's another theory that somebody said backstage at the Bitcoin conference that was super, made you like, oh, that could be a potential theory. And it was that Satoshi could have died.
Yeah,
Well, it seems
Hal
likely.
Finney died, and the guy from Pennsylvania unalived himself. So in a way, like, yeah, there is
There's also
that.
Hal Finney, who's also suffered from, I believe, ALS.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, all roads lead to a dead end, and all of the aspects of Satoshi's personality and like the lore and the culture, they all have like something about it, but not the whole story. That's kind of how you know that it's a team of people. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you can't confirm or deny that it's one person, and that in and of itself keeps the lore and just everything, like every single part of Bitcoin, decentralized, and it preserves the integrity, honestly.
Yeah. I think like that is like That is one of the big things that sets Bitcoin apart, is that there's no like God figure to worship like in all these other like cryptos. I feel like there's just like, this one person who's evangelizing and basically a scam artist, people. While with Bitcoin, it's like people come to it on their own. People find out, educate themselves, want to be self-sovereign, want to have their own money. Like it's I just love how it just attracts so many different kinds of people, like who are all just kind of interested in that same concept.
Yeah. It allows people to do that. It allows people to like just be themselves and not have to like have this group think like tribalist mentality. And I genuinely think that in every aspect of culture, like we are heading that way. I think the internet allowed us to be able to head that way because we now all have like the power to communicate across the world. Like,
Right.
if you imagine that just 50 years ago or something like that, that wasn't possible. You couldn't
Right.
have an all-knowing computer in your hand. Imagine where Bitcoin is going to be, where it's these things that people already use, they already more or less understand, because for better or for worse, the action of paying with Zelle or Venmo or whatever could be the same externally as paying with Bitcoin. It's the same like hand gesture. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's so much better.
100%.
Right.
And actually, Venmo started after Bitcoin. So I'm 100% certain that the inventor of Venmo was like, let's do this with fiat money. And
Right.
even it plants a seed in people's head. It was a good idea that he stole from Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin was the first Zelle, the first Venmo, and then they all followed. Before that, it didn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm seeing an
What about
NFL guy
chat?
down
I'm
here
gonna.
that says he lost a bunch of money trying to invest in Bitcoin last year, but I mean, it's interesting. It's one perspective to look at it. I wonder if, and the Bitcoin, like with us, I know a lot of us are all pro hodling our Bitcoin for the long term, because on a long time scale, like, oh, do we have a dog?
He's
My
like,
dog and my
preach.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's saying,
I mean,
hodl, hodl,
I see that
hodl.
someone else is advising him to try to
What
cash out once in
up?
a while. Oh, hey, Nico.
Oh, hi.
He's crashing girls know about Bitcoin too.
What are,
Wait. Right,
do
can
girls
I,
know about Bitcoin?
Can I join from the Swan handle?
Of
Yes.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Do you guys have a Swan Bitcoin
Yeah,
Do you have a
TikTok
wig?
channel?
I'm gonna get Camila in there very soon. She's gonna join all you girls.
Yay!
All right,
Yes!
this is what we
Nice.
do.
Yes! The group keeps growing, and now Napo's here. Napo break.
Hey. No, but my advice to NFL guy, listen, personally, I'm personally speaking, I joined like Bitcoin. I found out about Bitcoin at its all-time high. It was 69K. I put all my savings to it, and I'm still stacking my stats. One Bitcoin will
I see
always
he says
equal one Bitcoin.
he needed money and had to sell. That happens. No shame there. Sometimes
no
like
shame.
life happens. I would advise just only putting in what you can afford to live without at the current moment.
Yeah. I found the thread about Satoshi, by the way. It was by Proof of Money.
Awesome.
If you guys follow him on Twitter, it's a great
Is
thread.
it the new Twitter thread? I just opened it because I wanted to read it. It was like right before the chat, and I put it up. I was like, I need to read this.
Amazing.
Which one?
Where is it?
Oh wait, I can't find it.
Oh no.
Well, anyway, I don't know if Nico's actually gonna join. I'm like,
Wait, is there a Swan handle on TikTok?
yeah, no, there is. It's Swan
Okay.
Bitcoin,
might-
Swan BTC.
Okay, let's see. I didn't realize you guys had. We'll have to follow you.
That'd be so cool. The
They-
expert.
Yeah, you have to
of all
send him
life
the
talk.
link, because I don't, since it's not on my follower list, I don't have it like easy to share.
Yeah, I'll send it to him.
Okay.
I'll send it. I just sent it. But they've had a crazy week. They've
Is
had
it
a
this one?
crazy week.
What Swan has?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna read it.
Dude, it's so good.
Okay. Okay, well, Also, I saw in the comments somebody wanted to touch up on Binance and what's happening with Coinbase.
Oh, yes. Let's.
Yeah, I just watched an interview with Brian Armstrong today. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's I don't know. It's interesting from my perspective. It seems like I'm of two minds. Like on some level, I sympathize that it seems like Coinbase was trying to work with the SEC and they're just going after them in this like weird way. But at the same time, and I support people want to buy these shit coins and crypto securities like they can. But it seems like they've made it really hard. They are definitely making it really hard for them to sell them. But at the same time, it's just like I'm just sitting peacefully because I don't need to worry about it because I'm
So they're only going against all the other shit coins.
not all the other shit coins. They've like, but I mean, it sounds like everything is besides Bitcoin is open game based on what they've said. They've listed several that are like the specific ones. What happened? Can you all summarize? Well, basically, last week the SEC sued Coinbase and Binance for
And 12
selling
and 11 other
unregistered-
ones.
What was that?
And 11 other companies, right? Or just
Really?
13?
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I mean 13 regulation violations. My bad.
Yeah. Different charges for each. With Binance, there was for both of them, it was selling unregistered securities. With Binance, it was also mishandling of customer funds because there was some like shady wire transfers happening basically with Binance, where they would think that they were basically doing what FTX was doing, taking customer funds, investing it irresponsibly. They got lucky with their investments and that they didn't lose all the money, but they could easily have been in the same situation as FTX. Yeah. Shitcoins also, NFL guy, or anything that's not Bitcoin.
Like Ethereum, Dogecoin, Luna,
The dollar.
That
the dollar.
extends to other things that aren't even cryptocurrency. Seed oils, real estate, gold.
Yeah, it's slang for everything we hate, basically.
Yeah. It's slang for things that just we need to do away with.
Right. I don't know, but do you guys feel like I characterized that well? I don't know if you guys have heard anything else of, what's been going on with that.
Well, that Gary's trying to go against. So the chair of the SEC is Gary
Gensler.
Gensler. I suck at names. That is something that just is not for me. Anyway, this guy was appointed by Biden in 2021, and he's the one that's going after all these other companies like Binance and Coinbase to regulate, all shit coins and everything. And the funny part is he was a finance professor back in like 2019, where he was pro all the cryptocurrencies, which I find super funny. Oh,
We lost her again. Let's see.
we lost her.
Yes, wait, were you saying that how he was trying to join Binance before he was in the SEC?
So he was trying to join Binance and be an appointed like advisor. And then he was preaching to his classes about the blockchain. So
Right.
to me, it's confusing. And at the same time, I was watching a live and it talked about how he's probably just doing this for fame. And I was like, because he's not even going to see any of the fruits of this because they want to fire him.
Right. Well, I think Congress, someone has put to try to fire him. I don't know if that'll pass or not. I bet it won't. But it's interesting that that's happening at all.
What's up with these professors? They're finance professors and they're completely against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies.
It's interesting. I feel like he's like a secret fanboy a little bit of crypto.
He probably bought so much Bitcoin early on, has it in cold storage, doesn't give a fuck how the market is working, and he could be one of those people who just wants to watch the world burn. It's possible.
Either that or it's like he's being pressured to put this to put the guns on these companies. Like he could be getting outside pressures of you need to be crushing these companies basically. Which doesn't make sense to me, but
I mean it could be for the power. I don't know.
Yeah.
political favors. I don't know. You know, like
Or she
all
could just be
those
the face of the whole,
people.
of like the puppet.
Exactly.
Yes, he could be the scapegoat. He
Yeah.
could be a scapegoat.
I 100% feel like that feels more legitimate than him just like for this versus this being some sort of ego thing, you know? Like it seems
Yeah.
like
I
it's
agree.
when I've heard him speak, he seems like intelligent. Like he seems like he knows what he's talking about. So it feels like there's something else going on there, in my opinion.
Sketchy. It
Yeah,
is.
that's weird.
And as I mentioned in the beginning, I was watching the Rise and Rise in Bitcoin, and at the end, there's this professor, his from Georgetown. He was a finance professor, and he was talking about this. Mind you, this was in 2012, 2013. He's like, 10 years from now, people are going to be like, oh, Bitcoin? What's Bitcoin? Oh, remember Bitcoin? Yeah, look at Bitcoin now,
Yeah,
buddy.
bitch.
Yeah, like we have US candidates talking about it in their policies.
Yeah.
We have the SEC trying to back it down, and it's still standing strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you would have told me back in 2013 to buy Bitcoin, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. And now, 10 years later,
But we should have bought it.
Ugh,
give me the
man.
ball.
Hard to think about. I was ready to buy Bitcoin then. I just like did, I was too lazy to go through the process before there was like a Coinbase to do it.
Damn.
I kick myself every day, but we can't change the past.
I know you can't change. It's so annoying, just not having purchased Bitcoin when it was that low. I look at the people and I'm like, why? How does it feel to be God's favorite? Like to give you
I just should have bought more. Like, I did like it was low when I bought it initially, but like not $1, but still like $200. Like, but I didn't buy enough.
damn it.
God damn
But
it.
it's crazy. It's crazy to see at the end. So you see the whole documentary, and it starts out Bitcoin not even equaling a US dollar. And then towards the end of the documentary, it was $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the first like big like run up where everyone started paying attention.
Wow.
That was 2013, 2014. I remember that, like, I remember thinking, oh, I missed out on it. It already went up to 1K, went back down. It's not going to happen again. Like, I missed out on the thing. And I was like, no. Also, I wasn't, like, I was still thinking fiat then. Like, I was thinking I missed out on getting rich. But, yeah.
But now fiat, I feel like
didn't
it
miss
seems
out. It's so much more
irrelevant.
now.
Yeah. Now it's people work to buy Bitcoin.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's what they say, you buy at the price you deserve. That is so real.
I never heard that before.
Yes.
It's
Which is why
so
we're out here evangelizing. We want to, make sure everyone gets in now when it's, well, maybe not, not necessarily now, but like that about it and start your journey now of educating yourself.
Yeah, go through the pain now, because believe me, the pain you're gonna feel when you think about this live stream or your crazy friend who's always talking about it and won't shut up and you won't invite them to dinner. Call them. Give them a call. Tell them to teach you about Bitcoin. Tell them to teach you about self-custody. Join the nerd movement. One day, it's not going to be all nerds. Look at how it happened to Silicon Valley. Look at how it happened to literally every single rich person in the United States who's ever been successful and maintained that long-term success. They were unpopular at first, but then everyone followed.
It's the hero's
Be
journey.
unpopular. Dare to go against the grain, and this is the most against the grain shit you could do. It's terrifying. Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
And buy some Bitcoin.
I think if everybody just owns one Bitcoin,
that would be.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, one Bitcoin would be enough to retire.
Dude. That would be a very small population of people if we all equally like owned one Bitcoin.
Well, there are only 21 million people at that point.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, not enough people. I mean, I think that's why, it's, one Bitcoin is going to be an outrageous amount of money one day. You're not going to need one Bitcoin. Maybe a half, maybe less. Like 0.1 Bitcoin is going to be enough at some point.
Yep. I mean, what's 21 million divided by 8 billion people?
You got the math for us, Sophie?
I mean, I'm calculating. I'm all
I love it. It's like we're literally like in Saturday Night Live. Sophie's the one with the mic. She's like the one doing the music, the computer.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did I do this? 8 billion. Okay, no. It would, now I have to move decimals. Hold up. This is like,
NFL guys
NFL
reporting
said-
0.002 would be the per person. So if you
NFL
have more
guys,
than
you're
that,
hired.
if you have more than that,
No,
you're
more
freaking very
zeros.
wealthy.
More zeros.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But it's more zeros than that. It's
Wow.
way more zeros than that. If hyper Bitcoinization were to happen and all those people were to own Bitcoin, man, I like, damn. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to come up with something smaller than the Satoshi. I brought this up last time. We need a smaller denomination than Satoshi.
I
Not
think
small
like
enough.
Then it would be the Nakamoto.
you can build that in. Like the
So
Bitcoin
it'd be,
devs could change
so
that.
it'd be Bitcoin, Satoshi, Nakamoto.
Interesting.
Yes, that makes sense. I like that. And like we can call them Nakas for short or something.
Oh, Nakas.
That'll be like
You
a
got your
pin.
Sats and Nakas.
I love it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because Naka in Spanish means ratchet.
Yeah.
Means what?
Oh, I'm
Ratchet.
hopeful, guys.
Amazing.
Oh, that's funny. Wait, in which country?
Well, you know, Anaka in Mexico, everywhere. When somebody says, "Que Naka eres," that means you're so ratchet.
Never.
No?
I've never heard that.
But that'd
I've
be
never
funny.
heard that, but I'm from Venezuela, so I guess it's like different.
All right.
Yeah. There's also a delay on my part. I'm realizing right now. Sorry, guys.
No worries. I was gonna say we've been on for a little over half hour, so should we wrap up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be doing this every Tuesday is our goal at around the same time. So if you want to go ahead and follow Simply Bitcoin, Bitcoin Magazine, we're pumping out so much great content on Bitcoin only things. And yeah, come see us again next week.
Yeah, see you next
We're
Tuesday
glad,
at 6.
we're glad you joined, NFL guy. Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
Thank you, NFL
Bye.
guys.